Good morning. Welcome to the Marketing 101 for Small Business Owners podcast. I am your host, Philippa Channer, and I love helping entrepreneurs like yourself understand and confidently manage their marketing efforts. Now, this month, I'm speaking on something every small business needs to manage well, and that's generating leads. No matter what our product or services are, we all want our audience to be interested in what we offer. And finding ways to know who is interested and get them the information they need to make a purchase is key to building a successful business. Now, last week, we looked at ways to generate leads by using high value content marketing. Today, we're going to look at ways to use email marketing to generate leads and convert them into sales. Let's start off by looking at what email marketing is. From MailChimp, one of the world's leading email marketing platforms, they've shared that email marketing is a powerful marketing channel, a form of direct marketing as well as digital marketing that uses email to promote your business's products or services. It can help inform your customers of the latest item or offer by integrating them into your marketing automation efforts. So it's a great way to directly connect with your audience in a more personal and intimate way and inform them of what is most relevant to them and your company at the same time. So, a beautiful way to regularly communicate the most up to date information is by sending mass emails, such as a newsletter. You can do this like every day, every week, every month. But you're not limited to just newsletters. You can set up specific marketing campaigns to promote your unique offerings. So, an email marketing campaign, that's different than an email newsletter. And a campaign is a series of emails that are sent to a list of recipients. So an email marketing campaign, its aim is to make the recipient take some kind of action, such as visiting your website or making a purchase or downloading something. And these email campaigns are triggered by an action that the reader or the user does either on your website or maybe on social media. So email marketing campaigns are often used by companies looking to sell product or services over the internet, of course. So nonprofits and political campaigns, political organizations use email campaigns as well to basically encourage people to either donate, buy something, whatever the nonprofit or political candidate is trying to accomplish at the time, get a vote, whatever it is. So the goal of an email marketing campaign is to generate leads, of course, which leads to securing a sale down the road. And that, which is, of course, going to build revenue for the sender through direct sales or or it'll just increase visibility for the product or service. And so the goal usually for email marketing is to generate leads to get to a sale and to build awareness for the brand. So many tools can achieve this goal within email marketing. So when we're talking about getting sales and trying to, as we build and generate emails, there's different tactics you can do within email marketing to reach your goals better. So many of these tools can include stuff like A/B testing and having a more responsive design. I plan on doing a series very soon on specifically on email marketing and all that comes with it. So we can dive deeper into the different levels of email marketing and the different tools like A/B testing and all that stuff to create a more effective email marketing strategy. So, but for today, we're looking at just the surface level of how we can use email marketing to generate leads. So let's go over some of the best practices for generating leads through a successful email campaign. So let's start off by, defining what is a successful email marketing campaign. So in my opinion, a successful email campaign does a couple of things. And the main things is to get their readers' attention and to generate a response from the reader. So attention and response. And this response can look different for each brand. It depends on what your goal and your objective is at the time when you're sending the email. So to create a successful email campaign, you got to ensure that you're doing those two things. You're getting their attention and you're giving them something to respond to. And so how we can do that is things like your subject line, making sure that it's compelling, that your body copy is written in a way that compels readers to take action. You also need to ensure that your call to action button stands out so the readers can see it and use it. So let me give you my top 5 best practices for getting more leads using email marketing. The first thing, as I mentioned, is start with a strong subject line. The first thing people see when it comes to your email is not just who the email is coming from, but what the subject line is. You want to make sure that you're using a subject line that has a strong emotional hook and compels people to even open and read your email. The first step when it comes to email marketing is getting people just to open the email. So we need to get their attention by generating and creating really impactful, strong subject lines. The next thing we want to ensure your email has, and this is another thing that people can see before they even open the email, is your personal email address, where the email is coming from. You want to ensure that you have a professional email address so people know who's sending the email. Um, I know there's many small businesses that are just getting started that may not have a professional email. You still have like maybe your company name at gmail.com. That's fine. That's fine. You don't need to have your official domain email for it to be a professional email. Just don't have, something like lollipop liquor, 52. That's not necessarily a professional email unless you're making lollipops. So you get an email that's your professional, either your professional name or your business name. So when people start getting emails from you from an email campaign, they know it's a legitimate email and they're confident they can open it. So those two things people see in your email box before they even open it, who it's from and the subject line. Next, the third thing I want people to do is personalize your email messages. Most email platforms that are out there allow you to customize the email body to include the recipient's first name or even maybe their company name. And this level of personal touch gives the email a personalized feeling. It gives it a unique feeling. The recipient feels, even though sometimes they will know it's generated like that, it's still, I don't know, it still has an impact to see their name right there in the email, makes it feel like, okay, this was to me. So it just, again, it just gives a deeper connection. So personalizing your emails are key. I will go into, again, in my series coming up soon, where I dig deeper in email marketing. There are even deeper levels of personalizations you can do to emails than beyond just including a name. That include, if you have products that you're offering, you know, specializing and personalizing the products that are displayed in the email based on the person's interest. But again, we'll get into that. That is high level stuff. Right now, just including that person's first name in the email is enough to really personalize it and have an extra level of touch. My next tip about just some of the best practices we can apply when it comes to creating emails that actually generate leads is to keep our email messages short, relevant, and to the point. Don't use email as a way to tell a very long story. You want to stick to the point, as most people don't have the time necessary to actually read long stories and emails. When it comes to emails, a lot of people are really skimming the email to see, is this relevant to my life right now or not? And so you want to keep your email messages short, clear, relevant, and to the point. Relevant is key there, because if they keep opening emails from you and they're not getting anything from them, they're not, building or answering and solving problems based on the information you're providing, then they're not relevant. And so you want to make sure your emails are short, relevant, and then get right to the point what they want to do. And that leads to the next point, to have a clear call to action that's easy to respond to. So when I say relevant and to the point is usually what you want them to do, and that is the call to action. One of the first things you need to do is ensure that your email has a clear call to action and one call to action. What action do you want the reader to take after they finish reading your email? Don't include too many options because you're going to lose their attention. You want to focus their attention on the one thing you want them to do the most. And again, that can mean different things for different people depending on what you want or trying to accomplish with your email. Do you want them to download something? Do you want them to schedule an appointment? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to buy something? Whatever that call to action is, make it very clear. Do you want them to just read your latest blog post? In my instance, I send in a weekly um, newsletter to my audience, and I include my podcast. I want people to listen to my podcast. So that's the clear call to action I include, up top. So decide what that call to action is and make it very clear. And now the next thing we want to do, all of these things lead to one of the email measurements and how you know you're being success is email open rates. So we want to get people to open our emails. So now that you know the 5 essential key elements of creating a successful email campaign that generates the lead you want and need, the next is to figure out how to ensure people are opening your emails and getting and actually reading the content. So the first thing you need to do is plan your email content in advance. To do all those 5 best practices, that's not something you can just, I don't think it's something you can just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to do it. You have to really think through the emails in advance. And so planning out your email campaigns so you have a clear idea of what you will write and how you will write it and the call to action, all of this will help to make sure your emails are more interesting and more engaging and easy to do when you get to the point where you're actually doing it. The second suggestion is to get some people on your team, so people on your side who can give you feedback on your emails before they go out. This will help ensure that there's no mistakes in the email content and that it's getting read by the right people. So this could be as simple as sending an email to your spouse or maybe a trusted neighbor ahead of time. Ask them to give you feedback on the flow of the content, on the subject line, the headline, and of course, if they could find and follow the call to action. So, and again, this doesn't have to be a big team. You don't have to make it anything formal. Just shoot maybe your email over to, in my case, I send, every now and then I'll send my emails to my husband and say, hey, can you read through this? Let me know what you think and see if he can follow all the instructions on there. Hopefully there's just one instruction. So that's really helpful. So those 2 tips is plan in advance and have somebody that can just kind of proof it for you and make sure that you're hitting those 5 key points and best practices in your email. I know that there are a lot of layers to building a successful marketing campaign. That is why myself and other marketing professionals agree and would advise small business owners to find 1, maybe 2 marketing tactics to focus on at a time rather than trying to do everything all at once. So email marketing is a great strategy to start with. That's easy. It's easy to plan out and it's easy for you to control. If you need help in any way of trying to determine which marketing tactic is right for you, please be sure to sign up for your free marketing consultation session with me soon. Together we can determine where your interests are, where your strengths are, and the best way to start by narrowing down your attention and resources to the right tactic for you and your business. So when it comes to email marketing, be sure to consider these 5 best practices for creating a successful marketing campaign. You want to start with a strong subject line, use a professional email address, personalize your email messages. You want to keep your emails short, relevant, and to the point, and you always want to make sure you have a clear call to action that is easy to respond to and follow. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will catch up with you again next week when we dive deeper into this message on generating leads. And we're going to start looking at how we can use paid social media ads to generate leads. You don't want to miss this conversation. And again, hope you have a great week. See you then.